Hey, what's up? Robert Stanley here. I thought I'd share some new trick I kind of came up with for creating one-time offer videos and even sales videos. If you don't like to hear yourself on camera, uh, you can get voiceovers and you can synchronize those with Keynote, which I'll show you how to do. And then also for OTO videos, if you don't want to write sales copy or you're trying to do something last minute, take it from someone who knows. You should definitely have an OTO every single time. And the thing that's always kept me from doing it is creating the content or the sales offer for the OTO. So I'm just going to show you a couple cool tricks I've come up with for sales videos and OTOs. And one of the things that is really made life easy is something called Powtoons. I'm sure you've heard of it. Not a lot of people know that with Powtoons, and their pricing model that you can do kind of one-time recordings. So in other words, most people see this monthly fee thing and they miss this pay-per-use. So it's really useful. I mean, if you're not pumping these things out all the time, obviously pay-per-use makes more sense. So number one, you can do pay-per-use. What I do is like this. It's $60 for a month, and I can do 5 exports. Now, sometimes when you're doing exports, you'll be doing a lot of editing and making mistakes and stuff, and I don't like wasting all those on like my OTO downsell or whatever. One of the tricks you can do with this is if you run ScreenFlow or something, you'll notice that this little Powtoons logo, if you're not paying for it, you get the free version. It shows up in the bottom right hand corner, kind of like it shows on these thumbnails here. So let's see. So one of the things you can do is you can actually go in and edit, act like you're going to edit the video. It'll take a second to load here. Pause this. So this is the OTO downsell for a product I'm about to release called Rep Scanner, and the actual OTO video is a little bit longer, but I had used up most of my exports on it. So something that you can do in a pinch, you shouldn't do, I mean, you should pay for your licenses, but you can do is you can go to this play all thing here and do play all, and it'll play all of your animations. One of the things that's really cool that you'll notice here is that you can just have your own images that pop up. I like the way the images look and stuff, and you can just talk to it. I'll tell you how you can put your voice over this, but I never actually put audio in the Powtoon itself. I do the audio in the kind of the post-production process using iMovie, which we'll talk about in a second. But so what you can do is run ScreenFlow or Camtasia or something and just hit the play all and just record this right here. This isn't going to work really well, honestly, for a full-blown sales video or whatever, because it's a little jerky. It kind of works good for a really short, I think this is like 40-second thing. So if you have absolutely no money, you could just screen record in the editing window. I think in order for it to not even show up in the editing window, you might have to have the one-time paid account thing. I don't know, because I've never not purchased the one-time paid account. So a couple things there. One, you can screen record this, and then you can also just do the one-time purchase option, which is what I highly recommend that you do. $60, you can't beat that, right? So here's the thing. When you create your video, the next thing you need is audio or voiceover or whatever. In a pinch, you really want to get it done quick, just do it yourself. What I do is I bring it up in iMovie, and one of the features in iMovie is that you can put this stuff in here, and you might hear some weird audio because I have the computer audio on. You can put all this stuff in here, but you can actually split the film. You can do something called add freeze frame. The reasons you're going to want to split the film and add freeze frame and stuff is that when you actually record your voice while you're speaking to what the offer is, you might find that it takes you longer to comment on something than the actual video you created. And because these are kind of like a hybrid PowerPoint, it's really easy just to do a split and do a freeze frame. So what I do is I use the background music that comes with iMovie, and then I do this voice record. So if you click this little button, all you have to do is click at the beginning of the section and it will start recording your voice. And so one of the things that I do to make it easy for me, instead of trying to record the entire thing in one sitting is I actually break it up. You'll see it's broken into chunks, and I kind of break it into logical sections. And so what you want to do is you want to highlight that section. See how it's all yellow? You click the record button, and then when you click on here, it's going to record your voice. It'll count down, and it'll record your voice only for that section. So right now it's recording over the top of what I already did with what I'm saying right now. But it's walking through. So you just basically speak as you see this moving on the screen, right? And then when it gets to the end of the section here, boom, it's done, right? So you'll see there's a second recording. So if you screw it up, you just do it again, and then you go to the next one. And because make sure you do it all in one sitting, even though they're in sections, because your tone and the microphone you're using and the background noise and everything needs to all kind of match. So just make sure you do it all at once, and then you can just record this over, and then you can adjust the audio, and then put in the background music, and you're pretty much in good shape at that point. So that's how I have recently started doing the OTO video stuff. It's also a great way to add other little bits and pieces. I like it a lot more than PowerPoint because it's a little more engaging with the animations and things like that. If you really want to get fancy, and I've done this too, you can take pieces of a whole video and then also record your PowerPoint slides and then just edit in these pieces and make it a whole PowerPoint/video thing. So what I'm going to show you now is, I'll close this. I'm going to show you a project that I did with Keynote. I have a natural heartburn remedy product that I've produced, and I don't think it's in here actually because I just must have deleted it or something. But what I did was I was always trying to figure out, like on a Keynote slide, like I would get the copy written, then create the slides with all the animations, and then try to like figure out how to do the voiceover and that sort of thing, and I was doing it myself. Well, a really cool trick that you can do, you'll see that I have on the inspector here, this very first tab, there's this audio thing. And so what you can do,
drugs to treat the symptoms. Please listen carefully.
You can play this audio. Now, if you set the audio in here and then you play the slide, the audio will begin to play. You want like a 10-second delay before the audio begins to play. The audio will begin to play, and then you can just hit your space bar to time the animations and stuff to the audio. This was the only way that I could find that I could really get kind of the text version sales letter to coincide with a voiceover. Because otherwise, I don't know if you ever tried to do it, where you're trying to record your voice as you're going through the slides, and there's these ums and ahs and pauses and things like that, and it works, but it's not super professional. And so especially if you're going to get a voiceover, just get the voiceover done, and then upload the soundtrack right here. Okay, you can pull it from your iTunes library, and then when you hit play, it'll actually play it.
If you are suffering from heartburn and acid reflux, and you're using over-the-counter or...
So, hopefully those two tricks help. If you really want to get advanced, you can record this whole thing with audio and voiceover, import it into iMovie, then you can take your Powtoons pieces, and because you kind of have that multi-track editing thing in iMovie, you can actually, so I can find it here, you can actually just chop out pieces. Like this whole piece right here could just be that text over piece with the audio that's included, right? You can also separate the audio track out of, like when you import the movie that I just told you how to create with Keynote, you can separate the audio track. So what I found is really useful if you're making a more advanced sales video is to take Powtoons. If you use VideoScribe, you can take VideoScribe and then take your PowerPoint or your Keynote, produce all that content, and then bring it into iMovie and kind of edit it up and make it look super cool. So I hope you find that helpful. I think at a minimum, what you could find that would be really useful and save you a lot of time is just using Powtoons to create little animations of what your one-time offer is. Like, hey, you get this, this, and this, and show them little pictures of it, and just say it, record it, boom, done, right? Because that's all people really want to know, because they've already purchased. All you're really doing is asking them if they want fries with their meal, right? So that's it. Hope it helps. Talk to you soon, and peace.